Okay, Sony seems to be struggling with the concept of multi-platform support. According to records from the Korean Ministry of Science's Testing and Certification Center, Sony has developed a PC adapter for PSVR 2, showing that they've made significant progress on their promise to add PC support sometime this year. This would likely bolster sales for the PSVR 2, which is reportedly experiencing a major backlog of unsold devices. It's a pretty cool device, got an OLED display, it's pretty darn comfortable, it's... I think something that would do okay. I don't know. Okay, it'd be okay. It'd be pretty competitive for the price. I think I would find a PSVR 2 pretty darn attractive as a gaming headset. Meanwhile, PlayStation's new co-CEO, Herman Hulst, insisted at Sony's business segment meeting on Thursday that PC gamers will want to buy a PS5 in order to play their upcoming exclusive sequels like Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok after playing earlier entries in those series recently released for PC. And our discussion here is, as a PC gamer, would you be tempted to play Horizon Zero Dawn, for example, on PC, and then run out and get Horizon... As a PC gamer, I can't even remember what the second one was called because I played Zero Dawn and then I was like, oh, there's a sequel? Oh, it's not on PC. I guess I'll just not play it. But I tend to... I take a pretty different approach to my gaming backlog where I'm just like, oh, well, realistically, I haven't gotten to participate in a cultural moment like Helldivers 2 or what was that Pokemon with guns game? Pal World or, whatever else. I don't get to participate in these cultural moments anyway, so screw it. If it actually has staying power, then I'll play it later. But would you be tempted to run out and buy a PS5 in order to play a sequel?
I could see that being a thing. I honestly could absolutely see that being a thing. I think a lot of people play games more than they play systems, if that makes sense. Now, the economic environment that we're in and the cost of modern consoles might put a stop to that. I think it used to be a little bit more approachable to get into a console. But if it was kind of time to upgrade your computer anyways, and your favorite game was the game that you're playing now, and there's the next version of it is just on the console, I could see that happening. But I think that's going to happen significantly less than Sony thinks, and I think they would drive a lot more overall revenue just releasing the darn games on PC.
I don't know, man. A lot of people... Go ahead.
I just, you always have that experience, or at least this happened when I was younger, where people would come over to a friend's house and see Halo for the first time and then be switched over to Xbox houses or whatever else. Like individual games can swing people.
Absolutely. And a lot of people in chat are talking about it. A lot of people in chat are like, I'd be tempted.
It's totally a thing.
But can I propose, man, I don't know why so many, I was reading this article a little while ago. I might have even talked about this on WAN Show before, but it was about every once in a while, like luxury goods articles get fed to me, like the state of the luxury goods market, and particularly like, what is it, South China Morning Post or whatever, like I'll particularly get articles from them. This was more before they went paywalled, and I would actually read articles there. Now I'm like, oh, okay, paywall, I forgot about that, and then I navigate away, so I don't really get them anymore. But one of the things that they would talk about a lot is they would kind of keep tabs on the state of the luxury goods market in Southeast Asia and China, kind of overseas. And I remember reading about how there's this like trend, there's this trend toward more secondhand luxury goods, and the incredible value that you can get by buying and by selling the things that you bought for so much money and getting back some of the money for it, and then you can buy something else with that, and by saving money by buying secondhand. It's like it's this, like the idea of a thrift store is a new fucking idea or something. But I don't know what it is about people, because I don't think it's just the younger generation. That was what the article was about. It's like the younger generation comes up with the idea of buying and selling secondhand. I was like, no, you didn't. But basically, I don't understand why so many people are allergic to that. If a game comes out that you really want to play, go pick up a secondhand PlayStation 5 on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so that's like, let's do the numbers, right? So that's it's probably going to be like $100 off or whatever. So that's $350 out of your pocket. Let's say, I don't know the actual numbers, it doesn't matter, but that's $300 out of your pocket. Okay, you go buy the game, right? So that's $70 or 80 or whatever it works out to for a modern game these days. I don't know. I'm in Canada, so I don't even know what US games cost. So you go buy your $70 game or whatever. So you are $420 out of your pocket. Nice. Okay, so you play your game, right? Realistically, it's probably got, 25 to 75 hours of gameplay. So you can probably get that done in, let's say, a month, right? I'd say that's pretty reasonable for a game that was so compelling, right, for you that you went out and you bought a several $100 console just to play it. Okay. Sell the console. It's been a month. How much you think the value has actually changed, right? Compared to buying a new one, the value of a second-hand one realistically hasn't changed that much. You can probably get what you paid, and if you're patient, you can probably buy for lower and sell for higher, and then sell the game. Do you really need it?
You will be
out
made
of
money
pocket.
In those scenarios before too.
You'll be out of pocket probably $25, and it costs you overall less than the total cost of the game. It's no big deal. I used to do it all the time.
Another thing too is if you buy one that happens to be like a little bit dirty or a little bit scuffed up, you can try to I wouldn't say refinish it, but like clean it up a little bit, take better pictures of it than the original poster did, make it look a little bit nicer, and actually end up making money.
And it's a little bit of work, but it's also kind of, it can become a hobby. It can become fun. Bargain hunting is a lot more fun if you follow through and you don't just buy. If you sell as well and you maintain, like make a spreadsheet, have the discipline, make a spreadsheet where you track everything that you're buying and selling and keep it net zero. I bet you can do it. And I don't know, I had a blast with it. And man, the resources for it are so good these days. If I had Facebook Marketplace, which has problems, I mean, the fact that they're not tamping down on sellers who list for $0 and actually it costs a lot of money. Oh man, are you going to tell the bunker story? Or should we save that for another WAN show? You want to tell the bunker story? Okay, I don't know. He's muted, so who knows what he's saying, but it sounds like he's not going to tell the bunker story. We'll talk about the bunker story another time.
I can tell it now or another time. I'm down either way.
Sure. Let's talk about the bunker story. But the point is, let me just finish this thought. Facebook Marketplace is an incredible tool in spite of its problems, and I would have had a blast. Okay, I want to talk. Why don't you tell the bunker story, Luke?
Sure. Okay. So we were at a LAN party at Linus's house and having some fun, and Elijah happened to find a
concrete
safe. I think it was listed as, and it's very generic. They sell basically, it's a series of exactly uniform concrete slabs that make up all of the walls. I believe the floor, if there is any for the floor, and also the ceiling. I know the walls and the ceiling are all the same uniform concrete slabs, and then there's just a big vault door that goes into it. I was able to actually Google the company that makes it and figure out that this person that listed it for $0 was effectively just trying to resell from another company because all they posted were sample images, not an image of the actual safe or vault or whatever you want to call it. So they weren't reselling something that they owned. They were just trying to advertise and make money that way. So Elijah bugged him by offering him, I think it was like a single dollar.
So it was listed for $0? But the real price, I think Elijah messaged to find out.
It was listed for $1, sorry.
Yeah.
So it was listed for $1. We messaged him. Elijah offered him $1, I believe it was, or $2 or something. And he's like, oh, but my cost is like $40,000. And Elijah was like, well, you shouldn't have listed it for that. You shouldn't have listed it for $1 if you wanted to sell it for more than $40,000. And then my brother and I caught wind of this and just decided to have a little bit of fun.
You guys are such fucking assholes.
A series of questions that ranged from like how it would be transported to us and what the transport costs would be. I got really into the exact material composition of the concrete, and when we nailed that down, despite knowing the safety rating of the lock, I started getting into like how many I don't remember what they're called, but the big, not the pins that you would pick with a lockpick, but the pins that go into the wall to keep the door closed, like how many of those exist? What are the material composition of those? How long do they stand up to angle grinder attacks? All this other different type of stuff. Just like every question you could possibly imagine. And then when you kind of run out of questions, you hit them with the old $2 offer. So we, it was just a little bit of fun, just wasting somebody's time who's basically wasting everyone else's time.
In fairness, he had it coming. I'm with you on this one. But how many days did your brother keep stringing him along? Wasn't it like almost a week?
My brother had him. I think it was actually a whole week, because the last messages I'm seeing here are from the next Sunday. I hadn't actually seen this one. The last question was, could you fit a small car inside? And he's
maybe
like,
Dan's car.
He's like very small, like a very, very small car. Could you fit one inside? Oh, man.
I would love for this to become an entire content genre, just like trolling people who list things for $0 or $1 on Facebook, because you know what? Fuck those people. They are ruining the platform for everyone else, and they need to just screw off. Apparently it's is.
Super annoying.
That's awesome. Well, I thought we came up with something, but I guess there's no such thing as a unique idea. Apparently Dutch TikTok is full of it. I love it. That's awesome.
That's great. Respect. But yeah, my brother had him. I think my questions got a little bit too obvious, but my brother was trying to convince him that he had an extremely extensive watch collection that he wanted to store within the vault and stuff. Like he spun this whole story. It was great. He did a better job than I did. I just got really into asking him a lot of questions, but my brother was like trying to have a conversation, which was a better use of time, I think. But it was good.